and if you can, if possible, come check us out on Facebook and let us know what you think about the book. It'll be highly appreciated. In your book, within your timeline, you did mention Detroit's Black Bottom. Oh my goodness, that was a great time for our people.
Exactly.
You know, and I want to know right now if you could, if you don't mind.
Oh, no,
if you don't mind, if you could probably explain to some of our viewers and listeners what the Black Bottom is, because there are so many people out here that is unaware of Black Bottom.
Okay. The Black Bottom was just basically, just like any other city in the United States during, I would say, like the pre-1960s era in America. There was always a area demographically that was kind of where black people settled, and pretty much in those areas, you know, you would have like all black owned businesses and things like that. And so in Detroit, that particular area kind of like between where like maybe where Martin Luther King High School is at, like I would say like
Eastern Market area.
Yeah, Eastern Market. Exactly. And a lot of what Donald Goines talked about in his book, it was like in that, from that particular area. So you
Black Bottom area?
Yeah, Black Bottom area, yep. And
all the drugs, the pimps, the poles.
All the drugs, pimps,
the lawyers, the
that's all that stuff. That was that era. Yep, that was that era, yep. And there was a lot of families in that area that well off families.
Right.
And you know, basically it was basically an area that kind of actually started blowing up financially better than other areas in the city, which kind of upset those outside, you know.
Exactly.
But wasn't that the music industry? I mean, with the music, the lounges, and all the soul of Detroit.
It was actually where, like, you know, back then Detroit was big. Detroit was big on jazz back then. So it was like in that area. They also had an area called Paradise Valley back in that area.
Poetry.
It was like the entertainment district.
And then you also, as Val was mentioning as well, had a lot of doctors. You had lawyers. You had people, families that was willing to school their own children so that they can get a phenomenal education versus going and getting a basic education in which some public schoolings are doing now. So I would say for myself that I really 100% appreciate that our culture was able to band together and create Black Bottom. And I honestly wish that we had something like that today. I think if more of us stuck together, then we could rise. We could rise.
And spend our money in the businesses together, black communities.
We could. I mean, they did it then, so why wouldn't we be able to do it now?
And what separated was really the freeway. The 375 is what tore it down.
Well, it was a lot of other issues as well because, you know, back in those times, you know, it wasn't meant for us to rise
right.
above.
They didn't want independence.
They didn't.
The riots is when they started to make this gradually.
Actually, by the time the 67 riots came, Black Bottom had already kind of been dissipated. There was some riots in 1943 that kind of started on the Belle Isle Bridge. And
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh no, what was you saying?
No, I was gonna say, you know, the riot that I think, and this is just opinionated, that may have actually tore everything apart, is when they continuously, there was I'm trying to think what the name of it. It was like an after hours joint, and they didn't want us to have that.
They caught what it was. So that's so the 67 riot.
Oh, thank you.
It was started on 12th and Claremont.
Thank you.
And or now there's Rosa Parks and Claremont. Okay. It started because there was what they called a blind pig. That's what they called after hours back then. And
blind pig?
Yeah, they called them blind pigs back then.
Is they talking about the women or the men? Which one is the
you know why they call it blind pigs? Because the pigs, the police, were blind to them. That's what black people used to call after hours. Okay. So what happened was there was a gentleman that came back from the military back then, or from the Vietnam, and they were celebrating. They had a party at that Blind Pig on 12th and Claremont, and the police came in and raided it, and they wasn't doing nothing illegal or nothing like that. It was just after hours or whatever. But they came in there beating people and you know,
just because.
Assaulting them and things like that, and it caused people in Detroit to uprise and rebel against that, because
that was a very big riot. I mean, it went on, and it lasted for a minute.
Keep this in mind too: us being Detroit, being 83% black, and it's been like that for a long time. We've always had like a majority black police force, a majority like city council judges, mayors, different stuff like that. At that time, it wasn't like that.
That's what I was going to point out. Thank you.
Yeah. So we had the most racist police force in the nation.
In the 60s, in 67.
In the 60s, yep.
Worse than LA, huh?
Way worse. Way worse.
When Coleman Young came, I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh, who's this black man girl talking to these white folks like this?
Coleman Young came Coleman Young came and restructured the police force.
Yes.
And if you didn't live in the city, because at that time when he came in 74, all the white people started moving out of Detroit. And so Coleman Young, bottom line was, okay, well, if you don't live in Detroit, you can't be a police. You know, so
you gotta live in the
that's
city.
Where they
you gotta live in the city.
Right.
And that's why, you know, you start getting the all black police force and things like that. And they didn't, they ain't like that. That's why they consider in their minds that Coleman Young was racist or whatever, you know, how that could be, right? You know, so
hey, I give Coleman Young, man, much please, because I ain't never seen nobody.
He was married for like
get them cameras out my face. Get them out my face.
Coleman ain't place.
I was like, damn, man, he don't give no fuck.
Yeah, Coleman he ain't give a damn. He ain't, man. I told y'all.
But what in the book, what intrigued you to write the book, and not only intrigued you, what is the best? What you think is what's gonna grab your segmented audience? And what audience is you trying to reach? Because you meant the hip hop artists. What range and age range you trying to reach?
What made me write the book was, like I said, my experience as a hip hop artist. So I wanted to make a fictionalized story about my experience as a hip hop artist in the Detroit '90s. I was pretty much known around town, but I wasn't. Local. Yeah, but I didn't make it on the national scale. So that's really another reason that I was motivated to write this book, because I was connected with some artists, some great artists. You know, one of my rap partners, Kev, and another one of my rap partners, Tone. I mean, them guys, man. When I first heard Nas and Jigga back in them days. Messing with
Hold on. Some New York guys. Man,
they
with
was
a whole
messing with
hookup.
Oh man, these guys. We used to go to the Shelter, with Eminem and Proof and all of them. You know, there was an 8 Mile. You know, we used to go to them places and freestyle and battle rap and things like that. And my guys used to go in there and tear it up. But because we wasn't backpackers,